what I enjoy about life and what I'm thankful for the most are for the bad things that happen mostly, and I'm going to explain why. Whenever bad things happen within another's life, it means that it was never meant to be, right? This could be a job, it could be a connection within another person, it could have been a marriage dynamic, it could have been a relationship dynamic, it could have been anything, right? But yet, wasn't meant to be. And what happens gets taken away from you, right? While everyone out there are frantically scrambling around trying to find the next thing and the next thing and the next thing and the next thing to fill the void that this so-called bad thing or bad connection caused, in the hopes of gaining something better out of life, doesn't make any sense to me. Life itself doesn't make any sense to me. The more I understand people, the more I'm just looking around like, where's this world even heading? Where are people even going? One, I no longer know or remember anyone for that matter. And the more I understand the world that we live in, the more I understand the world that we are partially living in, the more I want no part of it. I mean, it's okay for the young and naive. If you want to live this life of being untouchable and living in fantasy land, acting as though your farts and your shits don't stink and that you're above God's throne and all of this, living delusionally, that is, by all means, crack right on. It's not a life for me. Because the last time I was aware, there's no growth and no evolvement, nor healing in taking this path that the vast majority of people have taken. And as a matter of fact, the more I'm around the vast majority of people, the more I begin to not help, but believe that my life is slowly getting eroded, is slowly getting stripped away from me. And in order to think clearly and think straight, I have to remove myself from the vast majority of people. And these young and naive, clueless fuckers won't stop until they've literally destroyed another life of another person. Because it's what gives them, this illusion of excessive happiness and joy. Thinking that, like I say, that their lives account for something. And that they're actually, in fact, going someplace later on, when that couldn't be any further from the truth. Because the same bad shit that they tried inflicting upon me all of these years is only going to make its way back around onto those involved, with added pressure, along with added interest, once it's all said and done. And the more I try to understand this world, the more I begin to realise, well, it's really not for me. I mean, just look at all of the people in today's world, today's society, right? Name me one person, just one, that genuinely has their life together. That are genuinely well, in here and in here. Just one person. I could assure every one of you now, you can't, because there is not one person out there. That's how far gone the vast majority of people are. Now, I'm going to get some trolls probably comment on this video by saying, oh, well, I'm highly successful and I have everything sorted in my life. Therefore, that's not entirely true. Yeah, but the question is, do you have God? Do you have Christ within your life? Do you put God along with Christ first before everything that happens within your life? If you don't, then your life accounts for nothing. It accounts for nothing. I don't care who you are, rich or not rich. Your life accounts for nothing. And this is what the young and naive don't understand today. They think, oh, well, I could just live however way I want, bleed on others, project my baggage 24/7 just to avoid accountability and responsibility, just to get some temporary fleeting high of excessive happiness and joy. Only to be left with the hardcore reality that sooner or later, that excessive happiness and joy people think they have now, it's only got to get stripped away from them. Congratulations, now you are left facing the same frustrations, the same anger, the same pain, the same suffering, and only God knows what you tried inflicted upon me with added pressure and added interest according to the way it was dished. And the thing is, I don't even have an ounce of pity for these fools, because they bring it upon themselves. That's what I'm thankful for. Bad things happening. While people are, like I say, scrambling around frantically trying to monkey branch onto the next person and seek out something else to fill the void that it may have caused in the long run, I'm happy for the bad things, because it opens my eyes to the fact that, one, it wasn't meant for me all of this time, regardless to whether or not it may have come off as genuine at first sight, that is. And all I can do is continue to grow and evolve and heal. And if that means removing myself away from people altogether, so that I can think clearly, live clearly, then I'm going to do just that. And I couldn't care less, like I said, if it offends people or not. Because unlike the vast majority of people, I don't need attention. I don't need validation. Because that shit's weak. It's fickle. And it basically just draws all of the wrong attention later on down the line. So for anyone out there experiencing bad times, like myself, there's always something to be thankful for amongst the storm. This is what people don't realise, don't understand, or even take into consideration. There's always something to be thankful for. Whether it's a self-inflicted mistake, there's always a way of rectifying it and putting it right, rather than scurrying around frantically trying to monkey branch elsewhere and find something else to fill the void that these mistakes later on have caused, and all of this, like I said, which does not make any sense to me whatsoever, because it's just going to contribute to the wounds that people have already received throughout life itself on a whole. Whereas just sitting a while within your own company, away from all of the hustle and bustle and the loudness and the degeneracy of other people, you can live and think clearly. You can not only live and think clearly, rather, you can begin to start putting your plans into action. It's unfortunate, but Being around the vast majority of people today, you can't even do that. Regardless to whether or not they want to have a fun time with you or they want to do something good with you, you know, and none of that even matters. It's not going to last. None of it's going to last. The young and naive are so clueless today. They really and truly don't get it. And until they've experienced half of the shit that I've experienced throughout the years, only then are they entitled to have their say on the matter. It is what it is.